Welcome to Rejected or Selected, a podcast where we talk about job search woes, hiring horrors, and everything fair and unfair in and around our work lives.
Yeah, my day has just been absolutely flat tack. I've been doing a lot of B2B, a lot more in the last probably sounds terrible, doesn't it? In the last probably 2 weeks or so in my job.
Okay.
And just I feel like I've lost my soul at some point. Every email I send, every call I make, I just, and I believe in the product we sell. Well, the service of our training.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that we deliver really good quality training. So when I can hand on heart say that to, someone on the phone, that what we do deliver is quality. But there's a part of me that just isn't a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson.
It's sales.
And
Sales is just sales, you know?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think because from a young age watching, I don't know if you've seen the movie Glengarry Glen Ross
No.
with Al Pacino and Jack Lemmon, and there's a few others in there. Alec Baldwin.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
What
it's just
movie?
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Oh, no.
Check it out. Do watch it
I'll
when you
check
get
it
a
out.
chance.
Yes.
It's an early 90s flick. It's pretty easy to watch. It's based on a play. Al Pacino is fantastic in it. He's like every movie with Al Pacino, he just
He's
plays Al Pacino,
fantastic
right?
in all the movies. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is the most Al Pacino I've ever seen Al Pacino play in a movie, if that makes any sense, But it's a good
I get
movie.
ya.
It's a good movie, about sales, but for me, it's like, and I'm not going to get philosophical here, right? Because we could really divert the conversation in
Yeah.
tonight's episode. But I guess with almost anything you do, there's a sales element to it. You're selling something.
Yes.
Even a teacher in a
100%.
classroom is selling something. You are pitching to your students, listen to me, absorb information, learn,
Yeah. But it's
and I'm
it's not with
sure
the
in
pressure
consulting, 100%. But anyway, that's my week, Deany. How's your week been?
No. It's funny that you mentioned that because sales has been on my mind as well the past couple of weeks.
Sales on your mind.
Yes,
Ooh, it's hell.
I feel like it is a very underrated skill. Probably not underrated. I think a lot of people realize that if you have sales skills, you can pretty much succeed in anything, right? Because you're influencing people into buying something they don't necessarily need 100% or making them see the value in something that they didn't realize they needed, right? And lots and lots and lots of jobs are around sales because all these businesses need someone to actually sell the product or the services that they're selling. It's just such a key skill. And I don't know if regret is the word, but I'm kind of wondering, maybe when I was younger, I should have just gone into sales, like, full on just jumped into it because, I'd probably be in a better position right now in my career if I was like a sales gun. You know what I mean? Like you can make so much money. It's such a transferable skill. It's insane.
True.
If you can do sales. And the reason why I'm thinking about this, well, it's okay to talk about it. It's been announced today that I'll be departing my role at Retrospect Labs. Crying. But I will still be around until the 30th of September. So I still have time with the company and just looking at what's out there, especially being in the a place where I want to work remotely within the region of
Mm.
APAC or Southeast Asia. And a lot of the jobs are sales. So, I
That
mean,
is
there's other
true. That
jobs
is
where,
true.
very easily you can find a sales job if you had a lot of sales experience. Um, which
Mm.
I have, but not in the, you know, not in the kind of like actual sales, big ticket sales, kind of that kind of area, because that's not my area. That's not an area that I've been interested in. It's too much
Well,
pressure.
it just might be, but can I please bring attention back to the fact that you will be departing Retrospect
Yes,
Labs on the 30th of September. That's going to be coming up.
yes,
I know it's over a month away, but that'll come up
yes.
before you know it. You've been a part of their family for, well, sorry, I said the F word. I dropped the F bomb. You've been a part of the organization. I should say that was a Freudian little slip.
Freudian
You've
slip.
been a part of their organization.
It
Jeez.
is a family business.
Tell me about your mother. Um, You've been a part of their
ah,
organization for a while now.
yeah,
How long? It's been a couple of
since
years?
2024. Yeah, 2 years. 2 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very obviously sad. Like, I really love my job. It is not
Mm.
performance related, everybody. Just, calm your
No
farm.
way. Never would be with
Calm your
you.
farm.
Never would be
Feel
with
free to
Deany.
contact Ryan McLaren, the CEO, and he will clearly tell you that it's not because I'm shitty at my job. 100%
Oh,
that is not the reason. Um,
I feel
just
sorry
because
for
he's
his
sad because he
inbox
needs
is
to
gonna get
find someone to
flooded.
replace me.
He's gonna have a hard time. I'm Deany, I'm not just saying that. Like, I haven't actually worked professionally with you outside of this
Yeah,
podcast. But just from working with you on this podcast, I can definitely tell
yeah.
that you would be an absolute credit to any organization. And I'm not just
Yes,
saying that, you
absolutely.
absolutely will be.
No,
So
I know this.
big loss for them,
It is. But,
unfortunately.
ultimately I choose family over work because
Yeah.
basically the situation is I needed to be back full time in Australia by September
Mm,
um for different reasons for commercial, legal, workers' comp, all that kind of stuff around
yeah.
being a WA employee.
Mm,
Unfortunately, there's no way around it. And then also, given that we're in the cybersecurity industry, there's always this requirement of people being onshore in Australia. So it's not something that's like completely left field, although unfortunately, not enough time um is available for me to move my whole family back to Australia and all that. So yeah, it just made more sense for me to kind of let it go. It's time to look at other things. And I'm kind of like, oh, I don't want to do the whole job search. Of course I have to. Or do I? Do I have to? Do I have to? Should I just,
do
pivot
you have
in
to?
fully into this podcast and be like an online personality?
Well, I
Watch,
think if
watch
anyone
out,
can pull
well.
that off, it would definitely be you, Deany. If anyone can pull that off, you've got you know, I think you've got the bold vibe going, if that makes any
Uh,
sense. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either. Uh, however,
No,
however,
yes. However,
I feel like we do need to rein in the conversation a little bit
yes,
because we do have
sorry, we're
an
kind of
actual topic
off
that
track.
no, no, no. I could, like our audience knows, we could probably talk for another couple of hours and not really touch on
Sorry.
the subject for tonight. But,
Mm.
or this morning or whenever you listen to this podcast, we're live streaming this at night. It's, what is it? It's the 12th of August already, 2026. I
It's
can't
Nabil's
believe it.
birthday today,
Um,
12th of August. Yeah, yeah.
sorry, what was that?
It's Nabil's birthday today, my husband.
Oh,
Shout out to my
happy birthday,
husband.
Nabil.
Happy birthday.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
You've had a few birthdays in your family the
My
last few
birthday
days.
was last week, and Leon, my
Happy
son's birthday,
birthday.
was the day before mine. We were all sick
Yep.
with influenza A, so it's been a pretty shitty birthday all
Oh,
around, actually.
thanks, influenza, eh?
Yeah, I
You're
know. It was
fantastic.
nasty. It was
Yeah.
so bad, but I'm glad like, we're over it. Like, you know, we survived. We survived. I will
That's
be
it.
coughing a little bit. I'm sorry, but
That's
yeah,
okay. I
that's
won't
why.
catch it because I'm
I
thousands of kilometers away from you.
Well, you think that.
Ooh, hang on.
What about
What?
what if this virus can come through the interwebs
Oh,
now?
I, sorry, I took that the other way. I thought you were going to do this big reveal and your screen goes and you're in Perth. It's like, oh my God,
Oh,
Deany's actually
no,
here in WA.
no. I think we've established that I'm not going back to Perth anytime soon.
We have established that. That's completely fine.
Yeah.
Um,
So what are we talking
anyway, I had,
about?
well, you just talking about birthdays. I have to give a shout out. It was my 10-year-old son Lucas's birthday on a few days
Oh,
ago
yes.
as well. I took him to see Inter Milan play here in Perth, which
Wow.
I was just, I can't even explain in words right now how, and I'm still reeling from that experience. It was quite overwhelming emotionally for me being a big fan, but he loved it. He
Yep.
had a great time at the game that night, and there was 53,000 people from Perth. We really turned up. We put on a great show. I mean, they put on the
Mm.
show. They're the players, but we
Yes.
had the opera performance, the
Yeah.
the or the Italian national anthem played. How bad is this? I'm such a bad Aussie. The Italian national anthem plays, and I'm singing it in front of my son Lucas, and he's looking at me, going, "Oh, my dad's singing in Italian."
Hey.
The Australian national anthem comes on. I end up having a conversation with Lucas instead the whole time. So really bad, Simon. Where were you born, mate? Anyway,
Hey, no, it's
um,
okay. You pay taxes, so, it's made up for
hey,
it.
that's it. I pay my way. I pay my way. Thank you very
Uh,
much.
okay.
But I'll get an Italian pension one day. I'm joking. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Oh my
All right. I'm going to
God.
rein the conversation in. We've got a fair bit to cover tonight. But I think Deanie,
Mm.
before we get to the main topic, there's just two more little things I want to make a mention of, if you'll let me.
Yes.
One, and this is not a paid spot, but I would love to give a big shout out to the amazing support people at Riverside who were able to help Deany and I through what was seemingly a simple request that we thought would get sorted out within a couple of hours. It ended up being this big event where we had not one, not two, not three, not four, five separate support people at Riverside, including one of their engineers, sort out a problem which happened. Apparently there was some issue in the back end where we wanted to change the main email account. It was simply changing what the main email was for the account we had with Riverside. That's all it was. And that took a week. It wasn't Riverside's fault. There was obviously some bigger problem happening, but we got the
No.
support we needed. They were on the ball straight away. It eventually got sorted out. Um, I left a really big Google review. This is not a paid spot,
Oh, that's
people, but I'm just
sweet of
saying
you.
now, Riverside, the amount of support you gave us over that week where
Hmm.
we thought that was it. We can't figure this out. You guys did it for us. Amazing. We love it. Thank you so much. And
Thank you,
since then,
Riverside.
the platform has been absolutely seamless. I've had no issues whatsoever. So thank you to the staff at Riverside. You do a great job. Please keep it up. Please keep it up. Um, the
Throw us an
second
affiliate
thing,
link.
yeah, give us a few months free. Give us, yeah, anyway, no, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop quick while I'm ahead. The second thing, Deany, is we have our first anonymous confession.
Oh, we've had a
We've had a
few.
few. We've
Thank
had a few come
you.
through,
Oh
but
my
we're going to do our
God.
first
What was the
tonight,
tea?
or this, whenever you're listening to this, we're going to do the first anonymous confession. So for those that don't know, Deany, this is your brainchild. The anonymous confession, they're a place where you can, well, it's a safe space where you can share a wild work story, a corporate secret, a hiring or a firing disaster that you've either experienced firsthand or you have witnessed, or any hilarious workplace confession. Now, we're going to
Yes.
start with a very light-hearted one, and I think you actually suggested we start with this one because it is quite. I laughed out loud a few times when I read this the first
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I
So this,
I need to find which one it is. Hang on. It's not.
it was the confession. So
Yes,
I'll explain
confession.
for our audience. So these anonymous
Mm.
confessions. You've either got one, there's three options. There's the rejected, which is a really nightmarish job interview or being ghosted by a recruiter or some kind of job seeking story. There's the selected, landing the job that you weren't qualified for, corporate politics, wild co-workers, stuff that happens in the office. And then there's the confession, something
Is this the
shady.
corporate IT one? The government IT one?
This is the, so this one,
We can
this
cut
is
it
the
out.
confession, right? This is one where they thought they were about to get fired.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, should I read it out now?
I would love to hear you read it out, Deany. Thank you.
Okay. I'll read it out.
I'll have my espresso.
Yes. Oh my God. I would die for one. Okay. I worked in a government office where everyone knew everyone. One Tuesday, I made a mistake that I was convinced was career ending. I disappeared for nearly half an hour. My manager was looking for me. My team's status was yellow. 2 missed calls. A coworker walked past my desk twice looking confused. When I finally came back, my manager asked where I'd been. I panicked and said I'd been dealing with an urgent facilities issue. For the next week, everyone treated me differently. People kept asking if everything was okay. I was convinced someone had seen me and HR would eventually call. 6 years later, nobody has ever mentioned it again. The truth? I was hiding in the disabled toilets because I wanted 20 uninterrupted minutes to eat an entire family-sized packet of Tim Tams without sharing them with the office. Government IT is their role.
Not only.
Oh God.
So, to the confessor, and no judgment here. I've been there. But
What?
not only did you hide in the closet, the disabled toilet, you didn't hide in the toilet, you hide in a disabled toilet. And not only was it a packet of Tim Tams, it was
It's
a
a family-sized
family-sized
packet.
sharing packet. I've seen those packets. Now, they're big.
He or she must have been like wolfing the whole thing down. Like, how could you even want to eat a whole family-sized packet of Tim
To be
Tams? Like, I could
fair,
not.
though, Deany, to this particular person, I haven't done that, but I have had times at work in the past where I have felt like that would just be the best thing right now. Honestly.
This wasn't
When
your
you are
own
having-
confession, was it, Simon? Anyway, we
No,
won't reveal.
no. I know I put on a little bit of weight, but not family-sized packets of Tim Tam weight.
Oh my God.
All right.
Insane.
Well, we're
What
not
have I
going to
done?
unpack that too much tonight because we do have a big episode to get on with, and we're about 15, 16 minutes in. So let's move
What do we want
on.
to talk about? What are we talking about? Naughty organizations.
Well, I could talk about family-sized Tim Tam packets all night, but I'm not going to. No, we're actually going to talk about, we're going to talk about 4 letters, and we're going to talk about the big 4. So the number for today, kids, is 4.
It's 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1 PwC, 1 Ernst & Young, 1 Deloitte, 1 KPMG. So,
Oh God.
we got the big 4 consultancies in Australia anyway, and 4 letters, KPMG. Now, unless you had your head under a rock and you live in
Yeah.
Australia with your head under a rock, you may not have heard of the news of the last month around the scandal involving KPMG and confidential documents and information. It's the same old story. It happened with PwC about 3 years ago, and it's happening again. And it's not that the other two, the EYs and the Deloittes, are immune to this, because they're certainly not. But this is a scandal involving information that was confidential being shared and hallucinating AI. So a bit of a tie into our last couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Because the hallucinating AI we'll get to in a moment. And that is kind of central to the theme of the trust that we put in, the trust that we put in these companies, and we really shouldn't be. Now,
That's
I'm
like
not saying that as a question.
the royal
I'm making
we. The
the
royal
royal
we.
we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
KPMG scandal, this is the one that went public in March 2026, right? When Senator Deborah O'Neill read
Yes.
the whistleblower's account into parliamentary
Mm-hmm.
record under privilege. Yeah, crazy
Yep.
stuff. Um,
Yep.
and then at the same hearing, there's like other breaches that came out involving confidential Optus data being shared with the team bidding for the Telstra audit, and
Yeah,
CEOs are like
that's all above board.
quitting and can't recall when Westpac and Dexus was notified, and all these crazy things. Um,
It's
yeah,
crazy, all right.
lots of
Crazy is the word. Crazy is probably going too far, because when you look at it, when you look at the whole big picture here, this is not just isolated incidents. These are not just isolated incidents. This is a pattern of behavior that dates back quite a while, but it's only now because we've had so much in such a short space of time. We're talking going way back to 2024, 2023. We really need to talk seriously now. There needs to be an intervention around the federal government's addiction to these big four consultancies, because they definitely have one. They definitely have one.
Yeah.
And look, it's not just the Commonwealth government. It's pretty much the entire public sector
Many
around
governments.
Australia.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and around the
Yeah.
world, actually.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Look, government agencies worldwide have a very deep-rooted relationship with global consultancies, ranging from Accenture, KPMG, BDO, RSM, what have you, right? All these big global consultancies. And one thing that really strikes me around the latest KPMG debacle, and this was pretty much in the news last month. It's died off in the news now because the news cycle has gone past its use-by date with this. We're going to talk about it anyway, because it is an issue in the corporate Australia. You're talking about really unethical and behavior from a executive that they are knowingly making the decision to act on and do, knowing that if they are caught, which they very well were, and it was quite easy as well, if they are caught, then they very well know what the consequences are. You will not get any more public sector work for a while. Now, I think that the public sector freeze for KPMG is only up until the end of September this year, pretty much when you leave Retrospect Labs, right? That's like a little tiny slap on the wrist, but it does equate to a lot of money. It also equates to 1,000. It also equates to 1,000 employees having to now lose their jobs. Now, most of these employees out of that 1,000 had nothing to do with the scandal, had nothing to do with the decision making at the top, had nothing to do with any of those decisions that resulted in this consequence. Yet they are the fodder that is now going out into the minefield so that KPMG can continue business for the rest of the financial year.
Yes.
It's
Well,
absolutely ridiculous.
they have to protect their profits, right? So apparently the
Oh yeah.
revenue went down 3% to 2.3 billion Australian dollars.
Oh no. We
So,
are
got to cut
so.
some people, got to cut them.
Let me get this
But they,
straight. So great numbers, by the way.
mm,
We are only making a profit of 2.3 billion. So we have to then put 1,000 people out of work.
well, wait, Simon, it's not
Make it make
profit,
sense.
it's revenue.
Revenue, sorry,
So
revenue.
there will
But
be less profit, but still.
there will.
Sorry.
Sorry, my mistake. $2.3 billion in revenue
But
is still $2.3 billion in revenue. And
yeah,
1,000 people, that's 1,000 people. And look, it's not to say that some executives haven't gone. A bunch of partners are being let go.
yeah.
The CEO themselves,
Mm,
done. Absolutely done. So that's where we are right now. But I think tonight is really, or this episode, I should say, is really more about these big four. Are they too big to behave? Are they at a point now where they can get away with these slight little slaps on the wrist every now and again and
mm,
continue to increase revenue, increase profits, increase their overall reach in the public sector and continue to win new work because these slaps on the wrist are just that. They're not hindering their business growth at all. In
mm.
fact, if anything, it's really not teaching any of them a lesson. Look at the fact that PwC was done for a tax scandal in 2024 or 2023,
Yes.
I should say. It's going back a few years now. Out of that, they had a $1 acquisition
Oh,
of their public sector consulting firm, which is now called Sign Advisory,
sign. Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe that KPMG's public sector, defense consultancy section has actually had an offer of $1 made by Capgemini very recently as well. That's not going to happen though, apparently. But yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous because in one way or another, in any way or shape or form, these consultancies will come back. It's almost like the Hydra. You cut one head off and another one pops up.
Yeah. I mean, look, no, not we. Government, state government, federal government agencies are still using them. So you know, what's the impact on that? Like if there's still a demand, they're going to continue, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think from the customer or the client side, from I guess some agencies, it's just easier to use them because they're already on the panel, they're already approved, they're trusted. Um, they've already got their roots in uh, certain processes have already been satisfied. So it's just a tick in a box exercise. Oh, it's been audited by PwC or been done by, reported on by Deloitte, or it's just easy because you're signing away. It's basically transferring your risk to some other, you know,
Yeah.
organization. Um, why would you change to some other entity that's, maybe more trustworthy, but just less, I, credible,
Hmm.
which is crazy.
Well,
Again, I will use that.
it,
It's just
it is.
insane because they've proven that they are not trustworthy, and I may
Well,
not get
they're
a
not.
job with any of these
And here's
companies
the
now that I'm talking about them this way. But
100%.
yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
here's what I always have found very just weird and bizarre.
Mm.
right? It's like that old saying, who's going to police the police? Well, who's going to audit the auditors?
The
These are
auditor.
the
Yeah.
biggest auditors in the country,
Yeah.
external third party auditors, and not just the public sector. We're talking the private sector, Qantas, Australia Post, although it is federally owned,
Mm.
Telstra, a lot of these big corporates in Australia, they do use at one time or another these big four for various things. And to a lesser extent, the Accentures, the RSMs, the BDOs
Mm.
win a lot of work as well. Not saying that those smaller, well, Accenture's not small, they're globally massive,
Mm.
just not as huge in Australia. But
Yes. Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
big four are the only perpetrators of this kind of behavior.
Oh
And
no,
I'm
not at
not
all.
going to go and say, I'm not going to go and make any statements on this show now because we don't have any of that evidence and nothing's been in the media. We want to protect ourselves too. But what I am saying is if you are in a business
Mm.
where you are incredibly competitive, the way even some of these smaller consultancies, and I say small, they're still quite big, as competitive as they are, you do have to at some point, at one point or another, act in a way that is unethical and goes against the standards set out in your own industry in order to grow the business. I mean, look at this. If we go back to May 2024, I'm just reading off my notes here. And the reason I said that, look at this. Senior KPMG in May 2024, an executive sends an internal email alleging partners are pursuing revenue growth at all costs. Revenue growth at all
Mm.
costs. Those were the words in that actual email. Revenue growth at all costs. You read
Yeah.
that as by any means necessary.
Yeah,
We will
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever it
Yeah. It's a
takes
business.
to
It's a
increase
business.
revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Now
mean,
that line
mm.
itself can be interpreted in so many different ways, but gives it also gives permission to almost
Mm.
make these unethical decisions.
Yeah. And what happened to that executive? I think he was penalized and he or she, sorry. I think they
Because
were absolutely made to pay for their whistleblowing.
mm, because they got found out.
Yes.
So they used confidential lend-lease board papers to win audit bids for Westpac and Dexus.
Mm.
And then what happens next? It leaks, and the story goes wild, absolutely
Mm.
wild, into the mainstream media for about a week,
Yeah.
which is way beyond the normal news cycle we're used to in Australia. But it feels to me like news cycles, the whole, and I'm going on a tangent here, but the whole, you know, cliche of the 24-hour news cycle, I think we're done with that now. And we're actually moving into a cycle where the same story is represented in a different way all week long. I mean,
Mm.
look at Trump's the biggest example. Trump will say something utterly stupid, but normal for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it will be in the media for a week, but there will be five different perspectives of it and
Mm.
have five different repercussions, and it'll just become from all angles. But that's it. That's the cycle we're in now. We will
Right.
regurgitate the same story that we choose to regurgitate to the public. And I say we, through all we again. I think I got the title for this episode, Deany. So
Royal we.
that's where we are now, I think, in the
Mm.
media. With that 24-hour news cycle, that's dead. That's gone. It's
Yeah.
buried,
What's
right? We are now
yeah.
regurgitating shit that is going to be represented in different ways.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm
Yeah.
completely wrong.
I
I
mean,
really do.
with all of that news regurgitation, etc., what impact did that have for KPMG and all of the things that they were doing? I guess they did lose that um relationship that they had with Lend-Lease.
Hmm.
So there was
Hmm.
a consequence to the whole scandal. Um, but in terms of the company itself and any other repercussions, do you know? Like if that's like,
Well, I'm not across the consequences that were laid out. I'm more across the whistleblowing itself, right?
mm,
So and this is, you can't write this stuff. I mean, this is something that will pop up in a sketch show. So you
yeah,
had, Senator Deborah O'Neill, who was reading the whistleblower's account back in
yeah,
March as well.
yeah,
Um, and at the same hearing, a second breach emerges, about the Optus scandal, the data that they
mm,
shared, for the Telstra audit, right?
mm.
So it's like as if, when an investigation happens, you start to
Yes,
undo this thread and more thing,
mm,
and it's like an onion. There's more layers, another layer, there's
yeah,
another
yeah,
one.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like this won't
If you
end at any
find one,
point. We
there's
have to
gonna be
start looking
more.
away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It's
if you
almost
find
like,
one, there's gonna be
let's
more.
look away
Mm.
unless we're going to unravel way more. Reveal it. Public wants it. Public is so sick of this kind of crap,
Well, it's
you
part of the
know?
culture, you see,
It,
obviously.
it is part of the culture. And I think that it's time, and I'm going to go on the record and say this, that there are some good homegrown consultancies
Mm.
that and they are sizable. They do get a look in, but they probably don't get as much business as these big four. We've got, as I said earlier,
Mm.
the federal government and states and local governments have got this addiction to the big four that we need to intervene with now.
Mm.
But we got these smaller ones. We got like, if you look at the engineering and infrastructure area, we got GHD Group, we got Oricon, but obviously, Australia's mining sector, particularly here in WA, is massive. You got smaller consultancies like MEC Mining. You got Atura. You got Minter Allison in the legal area as well. You've also got
Mm.
Sign Advisory, but come on, they were a spin-off. And you've got other players like Right Lane Consulting in the management area, right? So these are all homegrown, not so much fully Australian owned anymore. But, you
Mm.
know, if we want to start talking about things like creating real jobs and growth in Australia,
Mm.
best way to do it is looking at our actual homegrown consultancies and start giving them the work. Or
Mm.
to flip it around, maybe those consultants should do a better job in their tenders.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's hard though. Yeah. Okay. Part of the problem or the challenge is that tenders are sometimes written with someone already in mind, and that someone is one of
Hmm.
the big
That's the big
four,
problem,
right?
isn't it? And if
Um,
I can undercut because I am global and I have the power to do that,
mm,
and knowing that winning this tender will just mean we'll win subsequent work,
mm.
then we can easily go in and do that. So I can loss
I,
lead very easily if I'm a
I think
global consultancy.
I could be wrong, but I think Queensland government has a requirement with their tenders that it needs to be like a Queensland based or Queensland owned business to deal with them. I could be so wrong, but I think one of our uh, one of the projects that we got on was, we had to partner with a local Queensland business, which I think is quite nice. Like
Okay.
it helps, it supports their local talent and um
Mm.
businesses in a way.
Well, that's
Um,
important, and this may be a topic
yeah.
for another episode. But I've just
Mm.
quickly binged what you just were telling me on my computer now,
Wow, you're
and
so quick.
we've got the we've got the Queensland Procurement Policy of 2026,
Uh-huh.
which aims to simplify, and I'm just reading as it says here, guys,
Okay.
which aims to simplify procurement processes and support local suppliers. The policy emphasizes value for money, local opportunities, and ethical supply chains. Okay, that's
Yeah.
a good start,
So
Queensland. I
correct.
like it.
I wasn't hallucinating.
You weren't, well, you're speaking of hallucinating. Well, you're not Claude.
Segway.
You're not ChatGPT. Great segue there. Great segue. So There was also a report that KPMG very recently as well generated for, and I say generated, there's no pun intended there, for one of their government clients, which was
Sorry.
actually found, that's okay, which was, oh, is it the flu still hanging around a bit there,
Oh
Deany?
God, it's gonna be lingering. It's gonna be lingering. That's what the doctor said. Like, don't worry about
Oh, I
this
know.
cough. It's
We need
part of it. Just ride it out.
we need what radio stations have with that cough buzzer that you
Oh
just
God,
hit
I'm
if you have to
sorry.
cough or
We'll just
sneeze.
like
It's
beep.
fine. It's fine. So anyway, go back to it. You're
Hallucinations.
hallucinating, but guess what? So is a KPMG report. So this is probably the funniest part of the whole. I shouldn't laugh. It happened, and people are losing their jobs because of it, right?
Yeah.
So KPMG earned an ISO 42001 AI governance certification. Then 28 staff cheated on their internal AI ethics exam.
What is that AI ethics exam? Like, how difficult is it?
It
Just
can't
like
be that
oh, with
hard.
no, but is it okay? Something like this happened. Workplace confessions. Something like this happened in one of the organizations I have worked in before, where we have a very, very close partner who allows us to use certain um, assets, I would say, or like, I don't know, resources, certain resources. But to be able to use that, we have to go through certain kind of compliance things, right? There's a compliance test that we have to go through to be able to use this tool.
Yeah.
And oh my God, there was this thing going around. Basically, here's the cheat for it. Oh my God. When the partner found out, it was quite embarrassing. Like,
That's a hell of a workplace confession. So I've just looked it up.
I didn't
The
use it
AI
and I got
ethics
like
exam.
85% pass.
Oh, did you? Nice. Well done, Deany.
Well,
There you go.
no,
That's why
90
you're an
something
absolute.
maybe. I got a pretty good score, but it's like, it's not even hard and it's open book. But people are just not lazy. They just feel like, oh, I'm so busy. I've got so much stuff on. Let's just get this over and done with, basically.
Oh
And
my
I think that's
God.
the same case
Deany,
in this. Yeah.
I'm looking at the exam right now. Sorry to cut you off. It is
No.
mostly short answer and multiple choice. So
Yeah.
why are they
It's
cheating?
exactly exactly the reason I reckon it is exactly the same reason. This superiority complex of my work is so important. I am so fucking busy. Excuse my French.
Oh,
Let's just get this stuff over and done with. I'm just gonna get it done, right? So then you think that, oh, it's basically a complete lack of respect towards the whole intent behind having this test. This test is to ensure that we are compliant and we understand the rules, the legislation, that governs us being able to use certain things, right? So
100%.
it is pure arrogance and just, I don't know. And I think for completely just assuming here, but I feel like the culture is probably very similar when you're in a big four or when you're in a certain government department. You feel like your work is so important and your time is so valuable that you know this is a waste of time. Let's just get it over and done with. I am sure they are intellectually capable of doing this test very easily, but it's just that, you know, that arrogance and just lack of respect, which is
It is. You've nailed it. You've absolutely nailed it, Jenny. It is arrogance and a lack of respect. I mean, I'm just looking at some more examples in front of me right now, and I'm trying not to laugh. So we just got the ISO 42001 certification, then 28 staff cheated, blah, blah, blah. We've got Deloitte, who charged $440,000 for a government report, which was full of fabricated citations. Fabricated citations, okay? That brings on so many more questions. We're going to stop the KPMG pile on because we've got Deloitte, you're guilty. EY pulled, and you like this, and I would like this too, they pulled a cybersecurity report after 16 of the 27 citations were invented. Not
Yes,
it, just completely made up.
yes.
So we're going
And
to fabricate all of these
I think
findings in these
this,
citations.
yeah, so this is where people need AI literacy, right? So you, I saw someone posted something which was really, really interesting. Um, I'll need to not tag her, but like um link her name or whatever in our episode so people can check it out. She basically took note of all of the citations that uh, she received through AI, through her research and all that. And she went through all of the sources, right? And she identified that a lot of these sources were actually AI generated. So it's kind of like a self-licking ice cream, like people think, oh yeah, there's a source, click on it, and it's like a source that is generated by AI, or like if it's not hallucinated, or it would be
Yeah.
someone else creating this information using AI. So it's just not, it is a source, but it's not necessarily correct because it's AI generated by AI, by someone else who's generating AI. And then
My
sometimes
gosh.
AI would come up with information and then try and find the information to support its whatever it generated. So instead of like going getting that information from a credible source, it would hallucinate up something and then try and find um proof to support it. So like that's another thing where, yeah, for sure, like generate things using AI, but even if it does come with a source that looks credible, like you need to actually check the source as well and not just
That's
take
it.
things for granted.
That's it. And here's something that brings me back to my teaching days. When I was a teacher and I was marking English essays, right, as an
Right.
example, and we were looking for the research, and you're giving me your research, your examples. Here's your bibliography or the citations. I could forgive a student, especially year 10 or year 11, even year 12,
Mm,
for making one up or just taking the piss because they're a kid. They're a kid, right? They're going to learn.
yeah.
You'd hope they learn at
Yeah.
some point. But these are professional adults who have
Yeah.
graduated university, who are entrusted to carry out a service. They are trusted advisors. They're consultants. And they're doing something that a year 10 kid would do. And it just makes you wonder what else is happening that we don't even know about. How many other hallucinations have been passed off as advice
Mm,
to companies or to the public sector?
yeah.
And we have this trust problem. Well, the general public does have a trust problem. Those that
Mm,
are in the know, who have read about this story or these stories with the big four over the last few years, there is a trust problem. The and I'll use the Commonwealth government as the one when I say government, they seem to
mm.
not get it because even more recently, look, I'm going to ask you a question first. How much do you think the federal government has spent in the last 5 years between 2020 and 2025, how much do you think the federal government spent on the Big Four in terms of contracts?
I'd say billions. If one report is $500,000
Which wasn't even
and
accurate.
um,
Yeah.
in the billions.
$6.3 billion. So over that 5-year period, $6.3 billion was spent, and that's only the federal government alone, on Big Four contracts. That's
Mm,
a lot of money
it
when
is a
you think
lot.
about and again, I believe in value for money. If you're spending that much and you're getting absolute quality that is guiding and advising government agencies to make the right decisions for the Australian people, then yes, I've got no problem. Our tax dollars are meant to be spent. They're meant to be spent, right? That's
Mm,
why we pay tax, so we get these services. But it feels as if it's only being used to bloat these already big organizations to churn out absolute, excuse my French, shit. You're getting $6.3 billion across the four of you to
yeah,
churn out hallucinations, fabricated evidence, and pure shit. It makes no sense to me. It's an addiction problem. It's
yes.
like the junkie who goes down in the alleyway, gets $20 worth of smack, and just straight up shoots in the alleyway. And, I'm going to spend $20 on it, but at least I'm getting a good high, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
For that
I'm not
five
advocating for the
seconds.
use of drugs
Oh
at
my
all,
God. I feel like
but
we're always,
it's that. It's right up there with that. I think I make heroin references every episode, but I don't have a
no.
problem. I swear, everybody, look at my arms. It's fine. Anyway, um, oh shit, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Oh my God. Yeah, but you're right. There is a demonstrable addiction to the Big Four because I don't know, who knows why. If anyone can give us some insights into why we are so
We want to hear from you.
dependent on, yes, on the Big Four or those kind of large corporate outfits, let us know. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
One
You
thing,
know,
one
yes,
thing
go
before
on.
we do wrap this up though,
Mm.
there is a proposal from Federal Treasury to break up the Big Four, their consulting arms. I mean, is the government even in a moral position where they can say that? You're the ones who are addicted to this. You have essentially created the beast because you have fed it for years and years and years without any consequence. Are you in a place? What do you think, Deany? Are they in a place where they can even suggest that? And how does it
No,
even happen?
no, they can't. They can't suggest it. And even if they do break it up, it's kind of like what PwC have done with Sign. I mean,
It's not advisory
I
all
don't
over
know.
again.
Just be a bit more, you know, open, not open, just be a bit more, uh, put in a bit more effort in the businesses that you choose to support, right? Similar to what Queensland
100%.
Gov is doing. Don't just be
Exactly. Take their
lazy
lead.
and use the same uh organization just because it's easy and they're credible, but they've already shown that they can't be trusted. Oh my God, I am completely closing doors,
It's,
closing doors in like job opportunities as if I can apply to any of these companies um
oh no.
after this. But yeah, look, the good thing is they have given us, they as in these huge consulting companies, they have given us
Mhm.
a never-ending source of really funny memes and reels about consultants and how valuable they are. It's my favorite topic. Because I was a
That's
consultant
true.
before
We're,
also, so I can.
mm,
I feel like it's okay. Like I was actually a consultant before.
Yeah, you were there, but Deany, would
Mm.
you have ever passed off AI hallucinatory, evidence as a report that's good enough to give to a client? No, you
Ab
wouldn't.
Absolutely not. Um, but I have been in a situation where I was given a legacy report. Basically, it was nearly done and I had to take over it when I first started. And to me, it
Sure.
was a freaking mess. I did my best to kind of make it just presentable. Um, but it really depends on who your principal is or who the partner is. And, there's only so much you could do.
Mm,
Anywho,
well,
but no, personally, I would not.
anywho,
I would still, I do use AI for work a lot, but you have to be conscious of like what it is, the information that you're using, and take steps to make sure that you don't make a fool out of yourself and the company that you're representing, and giving something that's of actual value to your clients, like have a sense of pride in your work, man. It's
100%.
not hard.
If you ask me though, it's really plain and obvious to see that these issues are not isolated. The big four don't
No.
sit in their own silo away from each other.
Mm.
It definitely comes from the top down because we're
Yes.
looking at executives and senior management who are the ones who are driving
Mm.
this unethical behavior. It's monkey see, monkey do when it comes to a lot of the employees who see their behavior of their executives as permission, not just a request, but permission and almost a mandatory follow me to the front lines doing this kind of shit and you'll be fine. It's almost as if they're saying that to their employees. And that's why
Yeah.
you get
I
reports worth half a
I kind
million
of feel
dollars. Well, sold for $500,000 that are full of crap.
yeah, I kind of feel bad though too. I mean, who gets blamed? Usually it's the grads. But
It's the grads. The
like
grads will be the first to go.
companies are loving the grads because they can pay them less, but they're expected to do work to the level of someone who's a senior, like they get passed off as, this work has been done
Yeah.
by whatever, Deloitte, KPMG. You wouldn't immediately think, oh, a grad wrote this report, but most of the time it is. And you can't expect someone junior to be like dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. And, it needs to be someone senior who actually knows what the topic subject, has that expertise to be able to mentor the younger people as well, or the less experienced people in the team. And then due to whatever, profit maximizing, perhaps,
Profit
uh,
maxing.
profit maxing, just use AI. It's quick. We have to meet these deadlines and then something like that goes out and yeah, it's just, I don't know.
And I do feel for anyone who's grad or anywhere else in the business that is actually ethical, is working hard to ensure that their clients and the people that they are advising actually do get top quality, um, you know, advice and delivery of their services, because they're the ones at the end of the day who have to wear that and be the butt of the jokes of the memes and lose their job potential as well. So my heart really does go out to those people who basically are doing the right thing in a company that just isn't. So yeah. Hey, if any of you have worked for the big four previously, or even if you want to be a whistleblower, get in touch. We want to hear from you. Rejected or selected at gmail.com, or you can check out our anonymous confessions form, which we will pop into the show notes. The link will be there for all of you. Have a look at it. Don't forget to check out our past episodes on Rejected or Selected. This is episode number 14 for 2026, by the way. So, Deany, we've made 14 episodes this year. Let's do 14 more. And we will be back in a couple of weeks' time with a brand new episode. Deany, hopefully I'll speak to you before then. Hope you feel better. Hope the family feels better. Happy birthday, Nabil. You take care. Adios, amigos.